If you're looking to make a change to get improved performance, improve your sleep, and help you with your weight loss journey, try Optimum Day and Night. Make a change as soon as you can.
And that's exactly why I'm so excited to tell you that Optimum Day and Night has had a major upgrade. And these have been a real game changer in my health journey. Optimum Day helps your metabolism burn throughout the day, and Optimum Night helps you get a really good sleep throughout the night.
And here's some real life proof on screen right now. Both Robbie and Michael Owen teamed up with Oxford Natural for their wellness journey, and you can see the results for yourself.
And remember, the supplements don't replace a healthy lifestyle, they support it. So if you're looking to make a change, click that link in the description below or scan the QR code on screen and get 70% off your first order today. We've got some completed deals to talk about. First up is Ashley Phillips. He has completed his deal to Middlesbrough. And by the way, Will Lancashire getting 2 goals in a 2-1 win for Middlesbrough today, which makes it 3 goals in 2 games for him. Fantastic start to life. We probably should have charged him a bit more, to be fair. But Spurs have reached an agreement with Middlesbrough for the transfer of Ashley Phillips. Spurs wish him all the best. George Sessions says it is a £20 million package, 7 million plus 13 million add-ons, and a 20% sell-on fee and matching rights as well.
So nothing changed in the price, it seems. I think Tom Barkley also confirmed that as well. So brilliant deal for Tottenham. Another significant fee for a player that's never played a minute for the first team in a competitive game. So it just keeps that those sales ticking over. We keep getting money through the door. And good luck to him. And look, if he turns out to be someone good, just like the other players, we have all these other clauses. So you never know. Maybe we'll be back at Tottenham one day, but I think it's a good sale for us.
Another confirmed deal is Cristian Romero. He has officially joined Atletico Madrid now. Spurs say we have reached a full agreement with Atletico Madrid for the transfer of Cristian Romero. Wishing you all the best, Kuti, a warrior on the pitch, a key part of our Europa League triumph, and a captain for the 25-26 campaign. Good luck for your next chapter, Kuti. And he took to social media as well to give a goodbye message to the fans. And it's quite a long one as well. So he says, today I say goodbye to a place that for 5 seasons was much more than a club. It was my home, my challenge, and the place where my family and I built such an important part of our lives. I leave with a heart of full memories and enormous pride for everything we lived and achieved together. When I arrived, I had a clear dream to leave my name in the club's history. I knew the only way was through hard work, sacrifice, and achieving something we had seemed so difficult for so long, lifting a trophy again, and we did it. The journey wasn't perfect, but I don't want to define my goodbye. I choose to remember the happy moments, the lessons, the people who stood by me, and above all, the love I received during these 5 years. Thank you to everyone at the club who shared this journey with me, coaches, teammates, staff, and every person working behind the scenes. You are all part of my story and have a place in my heart. Also to the fans, thank you for loving me, respecting me, and making me feel like one of yours from day one. Thank you for every hug, every song, every flag, every applause, and for always being there. I know I wasn't perfect, but one thing gives me peace. I always gave everything. I defended this shirt with pride and with all my heart. Thank you for everything. I'm leaving the club, but part of my heart will always remain here. Once I was one of you, today I leave as one of you forever. With all my love and respect, thank you and everything, and goodbye, Spurs.
That's a lovely message.
And in his video, he says, once a Spur, always a Spur. I wonder if he would have put all this out if he joined Arsenal.
Look, who knows how true the Arsenal stuff is? There's all these rumours flying around. It might be true, it might not be. We'll never truly know 100%. I think for me, you can't rewrite history. He was a massive part of us breaking our trophy drought. Yes, it turned sour near the end, and once he was given that captaincy and whatever, even though there were points where he was one of the ones stepping up for us last season, and then all the statements and then things near the end really did turn a bit sour with how he ended the last game of the season and all of a sudden his push to leave and stuff like that. So it was bad in the end. He'll have a complicated legacy at Tottenham about how people remember him, but look, it's water under the bridge. He's now gone. he goes on to a different club. He'll always have that Europa League. He'll always have those good moments. So wish him all the best.
Yeah, look, like you said, very key to us winning that Europa League. And I think all the other stuff is the other stuff. You know, he wasn't the only one letting us down last season. He was part of a bigger group, and you know, he was part of it. He was the captain of it, and he should have held himself to a higher standard. That's 100%. But when we look back on it in 10, 15, 20 years, the only thing that we're going to remember is that Europa League win, and that's all that matters.
2 years' time, we draw Atletico in the Champions League, and he comes back to Tottenham Stadium. What kind of reception do you think he gets?
I think he'll get a mixed reception.
You think so? You think there'll be people booing him?
I think maybe a couple. But I think the majority will clap him.
Yeah, I think he'll get a majority good reception.
Another done deal is Jed Spence, as Jed Spence has also taken to social media to say goodbye to the Spurs fans. A bit of a shorter message from Jed Spence. He says, a special chapter comes to an end. It's been some journey with plenty of memories, moments and experiences that I'll carry with me forever, especially that night in Bilbao. Thanks to all the staff members who've helped me along the way, the players who've become family, and most importantly, thank you to the fans. Time for a new chapter now, but Spurs will always have a place in my heart. Come on, you Spurs. So a nice, short and simple, but effective message from Jed Spence.
Yeah, nice. It's definitely been a rocky road with Spence as well. There were times where we couldn't even give him away, and now all of a sudden he's playing at World Cups and going off to Inter Milan. So it's been a hell of a journey with Jed Spence and Tottenham. It's amazing how he's kind of rebuilt his career when it all seemed to be falling apart at one stage. You had Daniel Farke calling him out when he was on loan at Leeds, saying he doesn't have the right attitude, sending him back. Neil Warnock, before Spurs. He's always had a lot of problems, but fair play to him. I don't know whether there was a penny dropped or whatever it was, but he knuckled down. He put the work in. He earned his place in the squad. He earned his place in the team, and he did so well. He got all the way to starting fullback in a World Cup semi-final, all within the space of 18 months. It's an incredible rise, and Inter Milan have one hell of a fullback coming their way. It is as we've always said, it's sad we're only getting the fee that we're getting, and it's also sad that we're letting go of a good player. I think a lot of us would like him to stay. So, wish him all the best. But yeah, the fees are really totting up, as we've said. I think these two fees are probably two fees we'll be disappointed with. But as an overall thing, as we've said, like we're getting nearly 200 million now if we include all the add-ons and everything. It's crazy. So hopefully we're going to get some incomings over this next week.
Yeah, look, I wish all Jed Spence all the best. I really do. He leaves, and unfortunately, it weakens us. That's just the reality of the situation. We've got a poor fee for the sale of Jed Spence, and it weakens us in a position as well. So we'll see if we strengthen it or not. But unfortunately, that is the case of it right now. But Jed Spence, I think he gets a better ovation coming back than what Cristian Romero will do. So I think a lot of people are upset that Jed Spence is leaving right now, and I can see why, because we had it sorted. Like the left back was sorted with Robertson and Udogie, the right back was sorted with Spence and Porro, and now we've got some more work to do. So Jed Spence leaves with his head held high, and he leaves with a lot of Spurs fans having a lot of good words to say about him, which I think Romero's a bit different to that. I think Romero's leaving under different conditions. I think a lot of people have a bit of a sour taste in their mouth regarding Romero.
Look, I think rightly so with how it ended, and that's kind of going to be the lasting memory for a lot of fans. I think you can't rewrite all of the history of his whole time at Tottenham, but for sure there will be some fans with the way it ended, that's how they'll remember him, and that's it.
In terms of the right-back situation, though, Spurs journal is saying, despite interest in some options, Tottenham are unlikely to aggressively pursue a replacement in the wake of Jed Spence's exit this summer. Archie Gray is trusted to provide cover at right-back if needed. So
he doesn't say we're not going to go for anyone. He just says unlikely to aggressively pursue. I don't know what that means. Does that mean we'll put in a bid if it gets rejected? All right, fine, we'll just turn away. But I hope that's not true.
I do find it highly unlikely that we're going to get so many players in the next 2 weeks. Like, we've got 2 weeks, and in an ideal world, we want to see like 4 or 5 players come in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want to see a number 10, we want to see a right back, we want to see 2 wingers, and we want to see a number 9. That's not going to happen. I think it's just going to be these 2 wingers, and that's it. I don't think we're going to see anyone else come in.
I hope you're wrong, but I think I'm leaning towards the probability that Solanke and Richarlison are probably still going to be here next season. And if that's the case, I can't see us signing a striker, which is disappointing. But also, I kind of get it, like, in a sense that the striker market is really bleak at the moment. And could you back, if they back themselves to keep Solanke and Richarlison fit, is it worth investing however many million in a striker that might not be as good as what we already have? And so unless there's a striker that is definitely on the market who we can get, who is like guaranteed to be much better than the striker that we have, does it make sense? I think obviously for me, we've spoken about this a lot. Like, we need strikers probably more reliable who we can keep fit, and I think that's the biggest issue, not even necessarily the quality. It's more about, do we have strikers we can actually rely on to be in competition with each other and actually be on the pitch? Anyway, this is about Gray. Kind of sidetracked. I would want to replace Spence in an ideal world. I think maybe it's a case of, do we, if we hold off on it until January, could you get away with it? And maybe in January, if it's clear it's a problem and Spence and Gray can't handle it, then you go for it. But maybe for now you just rely on Gray and see how it goes. Today was a bit of a worry. I don't think he was brilliant, but I think we have seen better performances than we have seen today from him in a right back. So I'm not going to go overboard about what I saw from him today. So I kind of also get that perspective. I think Gray can play at right back. I think we've seen him do a good job there. I think if we could get a Nico Williams or a Munoz, I think we should do it. That would be my perspective. But if that's not really on the table right now, or for whatever reason we're not actually wanting them, then could we maybe just go with Gray for now? And if it is a massive problem, maybe reassess it in January.
Yeah. Look, I think we do need to bring in a right back. Look, Gray's just not a right back for me. Like, he's a midfielder, and I think that's where he should be playing his football. I get it, without bringing a right back, he sees a lot more game time, and it might, aid his development. But his development is best served playing in the middle of the park. So,
but it's not a priority, is it?
I mean, it's not a priority to bring in a right back.
Yeah, compared to the other ones.
Look, I wouldn't hamper the chances of strengthening the forward line in terms of to get a right back. I wouldn't, but
it's last in our priorities.
Yeah, but I think we should have planned this window a bit better, because if we knew Spence was going to go, then you got to bring in a right back. So you can't just let Spence go with 2 weeks left of the window, being like, oh, Spence has gone, so there's no time to bring in a right back. They probably knew Spence was going for some time. It's not new. Like, Inter Milan weren't just interested yesterday. Like, there's got to be some planning involved here, and it looks like the planning at right back just wasn't there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think if you're planning on, as you said, this Spence deal's been in the works for a while. If you're planning on letting him go, and it seems as though for a while we've been open to letting him go, then we should have had something in place for when he leaves. Yeah, I think that's fair. Fair analysis.
Let's talk about the other side now with Destiny Udogie. Journalist called Nico Shearer says Udogie. Nico Shearer, yeah, has said that Destiny Udogie has opened the door to a move to Roma.
So it's not true then. Fantastic.
Which are preparing an official bid to submit to Tottenham to try and sign the left back. Whoever, I mean, surely this can't be true. Surely we can't be letting Destiny and Spence go before the end of the window.
Well, luckily it's Nico Shearer reporting it, so you're all right.
Alistair Gold also has said that if Destiny Udogie is not involved against Hoffenheim this weekend, then it could be some time before he returns to action. His return date is unknown.
But Paul O'Keefe claiming he is okay. And also, as ZY said, he isn't injured. We're just being ultra cautious with him, for whatever that means.
I hope that's true, man.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, Ali Gold hasn't really given any info there. That's just like his opinion, I guess. We don't really know. So
it's a weird statement to make. Like, if he's not involved this weekend, then it might be some time before he's next involved. Like, I don't understand that. Like, why? Like, you could say that any weekend, you know what I mean?
That doesn't make it doesn't make sense. That
Like,
statement.
why? Because if he's not involved for Hoffenheim, can't he involve for Brentford?
I don't think that makes sense. What he's saying. I guess he means like if he's not involved, then there's not really a clear date when he exactly will be back. And if he is involved, then maybe it gives an indication he's very.
Well, if he's involved, he's
Yeah,
involved.
exactly. So I don't think it makes much sense. But we know that Udogie's really struggled with injuries. We know Udogie and injuries go hand in hand when you talk about it. That's just the reality, unfortunately, for Destiny. We also know he's a very good left back when he's fully fit. I think too often we've rushed him back, brought him back too early, put him under undue stress and caused injuries and stuff. But he hasn't played a game in pre-season. If you have to be that ultra cautious with a player who's supposedly not injured, and you can't even play him in a game in pre-season because you're worried that he's going to break down, that has got to be a worry, doesn't it? That has got to be a concern in itself, that you have to be that ultra cautious with someone. Because how is he expected to go through the rigors of the Premier League if he can't even manage 45 minutes in a pre-season without the risk of getting injured? So, yeah, that already is, even if what they're saying is true, and he isn't injured and they're just being cautious, that in itself is a bit of a concern. Yeah. But let's just hope. Look, he's still young, 23. Let's hope this is something he can get over. This is something he can work out. We've seen with Van de Ven, two seasons he was massively injury hit, and he got over it last season. He managed to find a way. Maybe it was something to do with his running style he needed to fix or whatever. So let's hope Destiny also goes through that kind of process and figures out why it keeps happening, and let's see if he can fix it. But yeah, the whole thing is a concern.
Yeah, what's concerning on top of that is what we were mentioning before about Andy Robertson and potentially Marcus Senesi playing together on that side. Because if Senesi's there, you do want Udogie at left back, and if Van de Ven's there at left centre back, who's not going to start the season probably, then it's fine to have Andy Robertson there to have cover, have pace as cover for Andy Robertson's flaws. We need Udogie. We're going to need to rely on him big time this season. Unless Sousa can do something, I don't know. But Sousa doesn't look like he's leaving at the end of the day. So maybe Sousa, they're planning to use Sousa. I don't know. But I'm going to assume that we're not. And I'm going to assume that we need to rely on Destiny big time. So let's hope that he can get fit.
I don't know about more than any other season.
Well, we rely on him big time every season.
Yeah. But I think we have now cover with Robertson. So I think the burden's less, I would say, on him.
The burden's less, but I think I am worried about the prospect of playing Robertson all these games, particularly if he's alongside Senesi in that game. And I think that the flaws of Robertson defensively are there and prevalent for all to see.
Yeah, but I'm less worried about it compared to what we've... I think what you get out of him going forward, he is a player who's been in the Premier League for a long time. He knows the drill. He knows his own body. He'll work it out, Robertson. I'm not saying he should be playing every game. He shouldn't. He should be rotating with Destiny, 100%. But I don't think it's more of an issue now we got Robertson than it was. I think it's good.
I think it is because we had Jed Spence at left back before that.
Yeah.
And Jed Spence
I think we're better off for it now.
Going forward, yes, but defensively, no, we're not. Jed Spence is a much better defender than Andy Robertson is now.
And the point is, hopefully we're going to be spending more time attacking than defending.
Yeah, that's true, but we've seen so far this pre-season, that you run at Andy Robertson in pace, he's not going to be able to defend it. And we've seen as well, how open we are at times. So we need good defenders there at the back, and Andy Robertson hasn't shown that he's a good defender yet for us.
Okay, but it's pre-season, and he's come back from the World Cup. He's maybe not at complete peak fitness. I think when he's at his best, he'll be fine. I'm not saying he's going to be perfect. I'm sure there'll be moments to get caught out. I'm sure there'll be games where he gets completely torn apart. That might happen. But I think by and large, the pros will outweigh the cons. I'm pretty comfortable with that.
I hope so. Well, remains to be seen, but we'll see how it progresses. But look, don't get me wrong. I don't dislike Andy Robertson. I like what he's brought us going forward, and I think it's levels apart of what Jed Spence brought us going forward. But I am just concerned about the defensive side of his game. Let's talk about Cody Gakpo. So with Cody Gakpo, Sim's favourite journalist Nico Shearer says that Cody Gakpo is one step away to Tottenham from Liverpool. The Dutch winger is the main target for Roberto De Zerbi. Already agreed personal terms for the contract until 2031. Tottenham are now working to reach and finalise the deal with Liverpool as soon as possible.
So he's at least 3 steps away there.
Team Talk says that Cody Gakpo has made it clear to Liverpool that he wants to leave the club and join Tottenham. And Florian Plettenberg said this yesterday, that Tottenham are in very concrete talks with Cody Gakpo and have already made contact with Liverpool. However, as a source close to the player currently denies that any agreement have been reached, a move to Spurs is nevertheless a serious option for Cody Gakpo.
Mm-hmm. It seems to be going in the right direction. I think if we can get him in time for Brentford, that would be fantastic. But yeah, it seems as though it's going to be difficult to do that. But it seems as though they're going for Barcola. They're moving for another winger, and that's going to open the door. So let's hope. I think all these talks over the last couple of days seems to formalise the interest and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it seems as though there's all of a sudden come a real belief that it's going to get done soon, I think, within the club. That's what it sounds like.
And last but not least, let's talk about Victor Osimhen.
Oh, fantastic. Is it Nico Shearer again?
No, it's not. But it is Team Talk. And they say Arsenal and Tottenham have both held internal talks over a potential move of Victor Osimhen, who is keen on a switch to the Premier League. No formal bids or advanced negotiations have taken place, while Galatasaray would demand a substantial fee, and Osimhen's huge wage demands remain a major obstacle. So basically, there's nothing said in that update. But all this reporting I've heard about Arsenal going for Osimhen and it will take 60 million to get him. I mean, Florian Plettenberg literally said a few days ago that they've rejected over 100 million from Al Hilal for Victor Osimhen. So I don't know what everyone's talking about when they're linking him for 60 million.
Who knows? Who knows? No one reliable's really said he's going to be going for 60 or 65 million. No one has said it's, apart from Plettenberg, no one's really said that they're going to be demanding 130 million. But yeah, I think it kind of makes sense in a way that because from the buying club's point of view, let's say if Osimhen is certain to leave or is really pushing to go, the buying club are probably going to have to pay big wages. They're not going to want to commit a massive transfer fee, and if Galatasaray want to get him out the door, they might have to accept 65 million to make Osimhen happy, kind of thing, to get rid of him. But yeah, I think from Galatasaray's point of view, it doesn't make sense to apart from that scenario. Doesn't make sense for them to let him go for 65.
But the point is, apparently they have rejected over 100 million for him already this window. So if they're rejecting over 100 million, it seems very unlikely that they're going to accept anything under 100 million.
Yeah, but maybe it's a case of he doesn't want to go there, so they just thought, well, it's not going to happen. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe they have just rejected 130 million. I can't remember what the exact report was. I think it was like an inquiry or something, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was an official bid. But there was something, you're right, there was something about 130 million from Plettenberg.
I'll tell you what it was exactly. Galatasaray were offered 130 million euros for Victor Osimhen via an intermediary acting for Al Hilal. The offer was made verbally. Galatasaray are not willing to negotiate at this stage and have no intention of entering talks.
Okay, because he doesn't want to leave. So they didn't reject 130 million, they're just saying he's not for sale.
Which is the same thing, really.
I guess. But maybe if he was for sale, maybe they would accept it.
Well, yeah, I guess so, if he was for sale. But he's clearly not for sale.
Yeah. So... yeah, I don't know exactly. The whole situation is very, very strange, but I don't think he's leaving Galatasaray.
Yeah. But anyway, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories that we have brought you today.